Good morning. Today is January something, I think, let me see, January 20, the year 2021, and it's January 4th, the 4th of January, 142021, 1/4/2021. Anyway, God bless you. And I just wanted to say I'm leaving to go down south because there's not much for me up here and I cannot relate to people. I feel like I can relate more to animals than people. Animals get me more. And that's weird. But then I've met people that get me. And I met groups of people that think like I do. And then I met, well, not met, I heard of, and I heard these people speak. And I knew these were my people. You can find your people if you look for them. And I found my people. But I am still seeking them out. Back in the 1920s, there's a man named Edward Bernays. He wrote the book on propaganda. I think his second book was called Propaganda. His first was called, I believe, Crystallizing Public Opinion. Crystallizing. What does that word mean? It's like forming and making it so. Crystallizing. It's almost like changing it from its natural state, say a caterpillar, and crystallizing their mind in the cocoon and having it come out instead of a butterfly, a sheep following orders. No, not necessarily, but no, that's not what it comes out as. In his book, I think it's more like it comes out a beautiful butterfly and it flies and it has freedom. That's what it thinks. In reality, what came out of the cocoon is a conformist, an order follower, someone who believes that they're doing the right thing for a good cause and they're a good person. And this is the way things are. And you should be proud of it, which pride, there's another sin. And, you know, then we get cultures and we get traditions and we follow along and we say, why do we do this? Why is this done this way? Like when I went into the military, there was tons of tradition, like we did stuff that, why are we doing this? Why are we stenciling our names on the clothing when there's so much easier ways to do this? Or, I mean, it's weird. It's times change, worlds change. That's what it is. When you go from right now, from here to wherever you're going from, essentially, you're going from now to then. But then, when you get there, it's not then anymore. It's still now. It's still now. And it is right now as well. So, no matter what your journey, no matter from here to there, is always from now to then. But you got to remember, then is always now. So what does all this mean? Well, it's simple, really. There's only one time, and it's now. And Kronos, or Saturn, or I'm going to say third eye. That's how I think of it. Some people disagree, but that's all right. I believe Saturn's got a bad rap, like Lovette says. I've been listening to her and just for a week, and I'm filled with more knowledge than on the stars from an alchemy point of view than I would have thought possible. Thank the Lord for her. Thank the Lord for alchemy. And Terence McKenna, I listened to, gave presentations on Gnosticism, the Gnostic belief, which it's a wonderful but scary. Well, it's not scary to me. It's scary to, you know, people who are probably 60 and Christian or something, because they've been told one thing all their life and they have that belief system. Like old people with fixed belief systems, whew, watch out. You do not want to bring this information up. I'll tell you a story. I moved to Pennsylvania last year to be with my grandmother because she was by herself, and I missed her and she missed us, and she's all by herself, and I love her, and she's such a sweet lady and so funny and stuff. So I went down there to stay with her for a little while, for a couple months. And slowly, you know, I was watching YouTube videos. I was watching like High Impact TV with Brian. And, you know, he quotes the forefathers, the quote unquote forefathers that built this country. Let me make sure this is still recording. All right, 6 minutes. I gotta hurry up because I am going to Florida. Yes, I am. All right. So, where was I? He was telling this or that. I forget what I was saying. Totally. Anyway, live in the moment and always be virtuously good, always. Demand heroism of only one person, yourself. There's a thing called delusion of reprieve. And this is out of the idea that it's kind of like stoicism. It is stoicism. Live virtuously, be a good man. Courage, temperance, justice, and wisdom are the 4 pillars of virtuousness. If it is right, do it. If it is the truth. If it is truth. You cannot learn what you think you already know. That's a quote. You cannot learn what you think you already know. Here's another 4. 4 represents bringing spirit into matter. 4 represents density, matter, earth, the earth sign, the upside down triangle. Here's 4 things. Meditate on this. The internal versus the external. I shouldn't have said versus. Internal and external. And understand it. Meditate on this. Embracing discomfort. You know, working through the pain, or almost embrace it and realize pain, this is hard for me, pain is just another sense that it's just another feeling or a belief. It's just another belief. And it's a fleeting glimpse. It always is. Not always. Some people are dealt very, very poor hands in this card game. And, you know, I feel for those people. And I'm sorry. Meditate on this. Focus on the journey. Always. If you're going somewhere, I love focusing on Florida and the beaches and how it's going to be, but I'm focusing on the journey. I love the journey. Matter of fact, I want to do half of it on a bicycle, but, you know, I don't have a bicycle. And my parents think I'm crazy, as it is, so I have to almost practice cognitive dissonance when I'm around people. That's why I'm moving away from here, because 100%, 99, well, I haven't found many, 99% of the people, 98% of the people, because I think I found 2 or 3, are 100% believers. They're believers. Like Crow 777, CRROW777.com, radio.com. I started listening to his podcasts, and let me tell you what. Matter of fact, before I did this podcast, I tried to play his opening thing in the background, kind of really low, while I started talking, but it wouldn't, my phone wouldn't let me do 2 at once. Or I don't know how to do it. I'm not computer savvy. That's why I have this friend, Matt, who's supposed to help me out. Shout out, Matt. My brother in the teachings and followings of Christ. Because he taught a lot of wisdom. And I follow wisdom wherever it comes from. I've learned a lot of knowledge and wisdom from the sun itself. And me and him were talking about knowledge versus wisdom. Knowledge, you can be full of it. You can be full of knowledge, incredible knowledge, correct knowledge, true knowledge. And you can choose to do whatever you'd like with that, including and not limited to controlling the world and taking over the world, this realm we live in, monetarily and kind of governmentally and religiously, or whatever you want to think of it, and using it for evil means, and to become the most powerful, the most, wealthy. Or you could apply it for the ultimate good of mankind, which obviously somewhere at some point, the latter stopped being or did not become. So, all right. Meditate on this. Live virtuously. Now, what we have to first, when I say live virtuously, we have to understand the 7 virtues and the 7 vices as written by the Gnostic followers. I'm not sure if I have that written down, but here's a quote I came up with. Sex is for making babies and curing boredom. That's funny. And on love, I'll tell you, there's 3 things that I have written down. Trust, honesty, dedication. I'd add a couple now. Kindness and unconditional friendship. Unconditional friendship. There's 5 things on love. Quote me on that. Make your own video on that. That's what this is for. That's what this information is for. I want to give you some good information, and it's not all for me. Very little of it is. A lot of it is from thinkers that were here in this world. Well, it was another time, so it was in another world. But they lived on this timeline, and they were amazing thinkers. Ego is a structure constructed by a neurotic individual who is part of a neurotic culture. Ego is a structure constructed by a neurotic individual who is part of a neurotic culture. Culture is the collective consensus on what kind of neurotic things are acceptable. Sentient, organized, living, loving, feeling, humor, grace, and conviction. Nature is a force. Rules of mundane statistics. Pushing the envelope to great extent. Pushing the envelope to greatest extent. Abandon the flow. That means do not conform. Methods, something. Attention, intention, chemistry. Allow consciousness to be cast. Nature is the answer. The impending death of the planet is coming. But I don't believe that. We need to overcome our infinitesimal ego-driven society. We must reclaim the archaic. Intuit our way out with a knife to our neck. I don't know where I got these quotes. I think they're funny. Okay. So, I'm going to stop there. I hope you guys all have a wonderful 2021. Me, I'm going to go somewhere else. Somewhere in Florida. Or maybe in a different state. I told people Florida, but I know police watch this. So I don't like police. I don't like government minions. Most police are just children with guns. That's a scary thing. That's not a joke. You know, you might have a policeman in the family. He might be a fine guy. I'm not saying that. I mean, me personally, I hate all police. Hate's a strong word, but anyone who, even people who vote, half of them don't even know what they're doing. But what they're doing is they're consenting to be ruled over by. Government means, it comes from two words, Latin words, governos and mentes, to control the mind. It's mind control. Come on. I mean, all through my life, I went to public school. So I was mind controlled as well, you know? And it was weird, and I said to myself, this doesn't seem right. What is this? This whole school thing that, like, this is... And then, don't even get me going on Santa Claus. You know, I was brought up Christian, and also, my parents were very, you know, in this era, materialistic, so Christmas was a big deal, and so was the tree and Santa Claus and the myth and all that stuff. So when I found out there was no Santa, it kind of hurt my heart with the believing in Christ as our Savior or the Son of God or whatever. But I'm not trying to preach Christ right now. I'm trying to preach just some basic truths. Does anyone here know what color truly is? I asked that to someone the other day. What's color? Half the people couldn't tell you. I can tell you. Color is what happens when pure white light from the sun passes through at least two forms of refractment. Like our eyes, our optical nerves, are not nerves, are opticals. They refract light, and they also refract images, which is weird. But so when light's refracted, I think twice, it creates all these colors, all 7. That's where color comes from. And why objects are certain colors? It's because of their frequency. When a frequency changes, that thing will only absorb certain colors. So if something's purple, that thing is absorbing all the colors except for the color purple. So like Matt says on Quantum of Conscious, conscience, the quantum of conscience. An apple, what color is an apple? Red? No, an apple is every color but red, because red is the color it throws off, that it repels, that it rejects. The frequency of the apple does not accept the frequency of that red, that lower color. Purple's always up, red is always down, because red always comes first, because we're living in a dualistic nature reality, which means everything's day and night, okay? We have a left and right hemisphere of the brain. We have male, female. We have the sun, the moon. We have fire and earth, and we have water and air for the 4 elements, which the latter were female and the former were male. Everything corresponds, everything synchronizes, everything in this realm is, I think, from my opinion, this is a perfect realm, even though it is ruled by the beast system. It is man's rule at this time, according to where the house of the sun. The house of the sun is, I believe, still in Pisces, but it's like we're feeling it going into the age of Aquarius, or it's already went into the age of Aquarius, and this is what's happening. This is a retrograde ripple. I like that theory, that something major happened in the future, and we're feeling its effects, but we're feeling it in the past just a little bit. It ripples back because time's cyclical. It's not, they say time goes this way, which is linear. It's not linear, it's cyclical. It's a circle. Everything's a circle. I mean, it's so easy. So simple, I mean, not easy. See how English is a spellcraft? All right, I gotta let you go. I gotta pack. Peace to you all. I love you all.